Mall of America. It's home to world-class shopping, great dining, and amazing attractions and events. And these are our stories, presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism. Hello, Mall of America fans, and welcome to this episode of So Much More. I am Jill Renslow, joined by my co-host, Dan Jasper. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Jill. How are you?
I am good, and we're ready to talk about summer and spring travel to Minnesota because we have a beautiful state for people to come and enjoy. Because as the weather warms up, Minnesota truly comes alive, from lakes and trails to festivals, food, and family adventures. To help us explore what's ahead this season, we're joined by Lauren Bennett McGinty, who's the executive director at Explore Minnesota. She's at the forefront of showcasing why Minnesota is such a dynamic and welcoming destination for travelers near and far. We're excited to dive into tourism trends, what visitors are looking for this year, and how communities across the state are preparing for a vibrant spring and summer season. So Lauren, welcome to So Much More.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jill and Dan. I'm excited to be here.
Good.
Well, yeah, we're excited because the snow is melting and we are getting ready for the sunshine. So what do you get most excited about to showcase in Minnesota as the season turns?
I think everything. It's sort of this, we're all coming out from winter, the groundhog, says the same thing every year, which I never believe. But we are here. We're excited for sunshine. We are excited for all the lakes, like you said. We're just excited to kind of get out, get some vitamin D and really get people here to enjoy it with us.
Oh, we love the winter because we embrace it when we're Minnesotans. Yeah. But we also love the change of the seasons. I think that's one of the most special things about our state is because we have very distinct seasons. And we're going to talk about all of that and more. But start by explaining, who is Explore Minnesota? What is your role as the executive director? What does your team do? And what is your role for the entire state as we showcase our wonderful state of Minnesota?
Yeah, so Explore Minnesota is the state's tourism promotion office, but we also promote the state for quality of life and sometimes for business attraction. But primarily, we are here to be the biggest cheerleaders ever for the state of Minnesota. And so our staff works on everything from social media to industry relations, where we get to kind of work with all of our different industry partners to do education and things like that. But we primarily promote the entire state of Minnesota. So everything from the Mall of America to the North Shore, we get to be part of those conversations and get the word out about how great we are.
That is great. And we work with so many of the tourism groups from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Bloomington, of course, and from a state perspective, you really are covering everything from north, south, east, and west. And it's such a diverse geographic area as well. So Dan, what's your favorite part of transitioning to the springtime?
Well, a couple of thoughts really quickly. One is I love how Explore Minnesota and then all the local bureaus all work together. I mean, they all have such pride in this state, which I love, and there's great teamwork there, which is beautiful. And I just want to talk about some of the beautiful places around the state because it's awesome, like the Jeffers petroglyphs up to the North Shore, right? There's so many places to explore in this state. My favorite thing is when the flowers start to bloom. That just gives me hope. Right? Especially if you're at one of our state parks or something and the wildflowers are starting to come up.
Absolutely.
And there's a little bit of snow left, but it's like 68 degrees. That's like heaven.
I hope there's not much snow if it's 68 degrees outside.
Well, there's a little bit where there's a big pile.
Yeah.
Just a little on the edges.
The time where you're wearing shorts and sweatshirts at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Flip-flops too.
Yes. You can tell when there's Minnesota travelers because you can be in a different state and it literally will be like 40, 50 degrees and we will be wearing shorts. Yeah. Like it is funny where people are literally bundled up in winter coats and we're like, hey, bring it on. Like this is warm. We're ready to go.
Well, in the middle of winter when it's 10 below here, Minnesotans are wearing shorts.
Absolutely. So the spring and summer season, big time, important for Minnesota to really encourage not only the locals to explore and find new things to discover, but it's also a great time to lure travelers here to the state. What's your focus this year as you look at the upcoming seasons?
So our focus this year is all about kind of getting back to nostalgia, right? Going out with your family and friends to a resort in northern Minnesota, spending time by the lake. We love our lakes here.
Yes.
I mean, you can be on a pontoon, you can be on a beach, you can, go fishing, whatever that looks like. So we really wanted to kind of bring back that classic summer from the 70s and really just have people experience the mom and pop resorts. But we've also added outdoors as a key focus for us. We know we do really well with the outdoor recreation piece of it throughout the state. You can have all kinds of different experiences. Even right around the corner here, right? You can go hiking. So I think that's really unique. And then we're also doing culture and getting people to museums and different festivals and events. And we have an incredible food scene here that I don't think a lot of people realize, but we have so many awarded chefs and restaurants that we have to tell that story to more and more people.
So what type of trends are you seeing with families or individuals, couples for this spring and summer? Are you seeing more of the kind of staycation, extended stays, just quick weekend getaways? How is that like all-American road trip looking? What are you seeing for those trends?
Yeah, a lot of those things, definitely. I think one of the big things we're seeing is slow travel. I think with so many things going on in the world and having kind of such busy schedules all the time, people just want to unplug and rewind and just get back to nature. So we're seeing a lot of that, which is why we kind of chose the resorts. But we're also seeing festival and event travel. You guys know, you do great pop-ups here when we have big events in town. We've got Lady Gaga coming in just a few weeks.
Love her.
We also have SummerSlam this summer, which I know everyone's
huge.
excited about.
Wrestling fans.
Yeah, and the Special Olympics are coming here too, which is going to be really fun. So I think just getting more and more people, getting that marketing to them ahead of those events and saying, extend your stay, get out of your hotel, go see things around you. That's kind of the key. And then we're also just really looking at that multi-generational road trip and getting people packed in the car. The family we featured in our ads this summer are from Iowa. There were 16 of them that had a mini reunion.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and they had a great time. There were kids, there were adults, there were adult parents. You know, it was great. And it was fun to see them all kind of branch off and go do golf, or maybe they went to go see the Trolls in Detroit Lakes, right? So they all got to do their own things, but then come back together. So it's a really fun thing to see that multi-generational trip kind of getting more and more popular.
Yeah, you were talking about all the events that are happening, and we've been so impressed to see the lineup of entertainers coming to town.
Yeah.
So many outdoor concerts and festivals. Minnesotans love to eat outside and enjoy music outside, and especially with some of the newer venues that are popping up. Mystic Lake is a close partner of ours, and their new amphitheater. They have a stellar lineup for the summer. So are you seeing that as another big trend with these outdoor events?
Absolutely. That's a great option. Certainly Dave Matthews Band is coming. I think they're the first one, right? So that's fun to see that that's already getting off the ground. I mean, they just broke ground not that long ago. So love to see that. That's really driving traffic. And then like the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival this summer. It's a millennials dream lineup on that one with the Strokes and Passion Pit. So I think a lot of people, maybe even myself, are very excited about that. But that's a fun one too, because it's in the cities, but you see people going to art fairs when there aren't people playing and they're kind of hopping on the light rail, come into the mall. So it's a really great opportunity, again, to kind of have those tentpole events and concerts and then get people out more and more throughout the cities.
Absolutely. And there's so much to explore. So would love for you to talk about your website too. Dan brought this up as a great resource as you're researching ideas and planning your itineraries, whether you have dates selected already or if you're looking to plan around specific events. I think that's a great place to start. So if you want to talk a little bit about your website, because I know you guys have invested some time and energy in updating that in itineraries and just all the fun things that travelers can find.
Yeah, exploreminnesota.com is a great place. It gives you all the information you need. And like you said, we have ready itineraries. So for people who have no idea what they want to do this summer, it's so easy to go on our site and just see the stops along the way. And a lot of them have a video that goes with it. So you can see how other people experienced it, which is really fun. And one of the really great things about it is that you can go on and you can find businesses that have listings. You can find events. You can kind of just see different sections of the state. We've got a great map that you can click on. And I really love going out there to just kind of see all the beautiful pictures, right? Get inspiration. And we're seeing as a trend those short booking windows. So people are saying, in a couple weeks, maybe we go on a trip for 3 days. We're a great destination for that. We're affordable, easy to get to, especially if you're driving, but also if you're flying, great connectivity. So I think it's just a really great resource for people who are trying to figure out, what's something fun we can do this summer.
Dan, I know you love the North Shore. I think we all do. It's such a great getaway, especially for us locals too. What are some of your fun spots up in northern Minnesota?
I love the North Shore. It is like a second home to me. And probably one of my favorite things is called the Palisades. If you drive up there and there's a little road off 61 or whatever it is, and it says the Palisades, and it's this winding, tiny little road, and there's like 8 parking spots at the top, but there's hiking trails, and that's where the really cool photos of Split Rock Lighthouse are often taken from.
Okay.
And it's just these sheer cliffs. And you can stand up there and walk, and there's trails, and that is my favorite. And then in Duluth, there's just so many little shops and restaurants. I absolutely love going there.
So is your destination, is that as far as Grand Marais, like that far north?
It's not as far as Grand Marais,
Okay.
but I love going up to Grand Marais because then there's the road, and I can't think of the name of it, that's a dead end. It's the trail that goes up by Canada.
that road.
And I take that road every time. It's awesome, right? It's the Flint Rock or
Gunflint Trail.
Gunflint Trail.
Yeah.
Thank
Headed
you.
towards Boundary Waters.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's places to stop and you can see bears and stuff. I've never seen one, but that's what they say.
You just have to wait a
but
little longer.
take the Gunflint Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely gorgeous. In the fall, amazing.
Oh, yeah, that drive is
It's
incredible.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Minnesota is so diverse in our geographical elements. So can you talk a little bit about that? Obviously, we just hit the North Shore, but I mean, from north, south, east, west, there's so many unique facets. So talk a little bit about that and how you highlight those unique areas of Minnesota.
Yeah, well, I mean, the North Shore everyone loves. And I think just to be clear, the North Shore is called that because it's the North Shore of Lake Superior, and Lake Superior feels like an ocean.
Yes.
Can't see the end of it. You can see the end of the state, but you can't see the end of the lake. So I think that's cool. In the southeastern part, we have bluff country. So that's where the Mississippi
beautiful.
River, which also starts in Minnesota and Itasca, it cuts through that part of the state in between Wisconsin and Minnesota, and you see the beautiful bluffs along the river. That's my favorite fall drive, honestly, going down to Winona. Red Wing,
Absolutely.
amazing. You can get a train there from Chicago, hint, hint. But that is a beautiful part. People go ice climbing in the winter. Amazing. And then you go kind of over to the southwest. Yep. Southwest. We have prairies. We have bison. We have beautiful pipestone, which is where a quarry is, where they get all of the rocks for the pipes for Native Americans. And then you kind of go up the other side of the state there, and there's lots of beautiful like prairie lands, wildlife management areas that are managed by the state and the feds, and they really do a great job of beautiful wildflower planting and trees, and then you can go hunting and fishing in the streams. Going up to northwest Minnesota, there's lots of fun little small towns. I love that area. Cabins, small towns, nice resorts and lakes, and it's really great in the winter too because you can go ice fishing, snowmobiling, just lots of really fun things to do if you're looking for kind of a quieter vacation. So from northwest to southeast, it's just a totally different experience. And even in the Twin Cities, you can be in the Twin Cities, right? You can be in the cities, but hop on a bike, get on the Greenway going across the city, and you can also just go hiking. I mean, I go to Fort Snelling and go hiking all the time. So I don't know. It's kind of amazing that we have so many different opportunities for people when they come.
It is so varied and so across our entire state. And that's part of what makes Minnesota. I honestly believe this, and I say this all the time. We have the best state, the most beautiful state. And so much to do here, but I just love it.
Absolutely. So when you have people that have never been here before, what are those must-see locations or experiences that they should make sure that they have on their itineraries? Because we have so many iconic components, but I think there's so many smaller hidden gems that you also want people to experience. So what are some of those must-see elements?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously the Twin Cities is a great starting place. And from here, you can go see Paisley Park, Prince's House, which
Hence, I have my purple
Yeah.
Paisley Park
Perfect.
t-shirt on today.
Yeah, I think that's really special. A lot of people don't realize that you can just go into Prince's house and see all of his stuff. And then also one of the things I love to tell people to do is go see the Danbo Trills up in Detroit Lake. So
I want to so bad.
I know it's northwest of the Twin Cities.
I've never done that before.
I haven't
It's
either.
so fun. And all of these giant trolls are made from recycled materials, and they take you on a journey, and they have clues and riddles that you have to solve to find the next one. Great for families, great for just hiking and kind of getting out in nature, but having, I guess, an end to your journey at some point. A couple of other places that really stand out are like Alexandria, beautiful lakes in that area, just fun little shops, lots of main streets. North Shore, obviously. obviously. But one thing I always tell people is go all the way up the North Shore. And I don't just mean a Grand Marais. I mean, go to Grand Portage, which is right before the Canadian border. You can literally see the edge of Minnesota, which is one of the coolest things to experience. It's so gorgeous up there. And in the fall, the colors are popping. So it's sort of these hidden gems. I think in the Twin Cities, too, you've got all kinds of really fun little restaurants, immigrant-owned restaurants from all over the world. We've got jazz bars, that we have classic rock clubs like First Avenue. So it's all these places that sort of weave into this very unique cultural experience in Minneapolis and St. Paul and Bloomington and the Mall of America. Like, I love that at the Mall of America, you guys have done such a good job of curating some of these small restaurants that, you know, you get to see out in the Twin Cities, but then see here too. So it's a little bit of a micro world to the rest of it.
I was going to ask what your favorite location was. And I was curious if it was going to be MOA.
I do love coming to the mall. I will say, I get that question all the time. My answer is usually the last place I visited. And this past couple weeks ago, I was in Lutzen for the first time, which was really fun. And it was just a beautiful day. And we got to go up to the top of the mountain on the gondola and see above over the clouds. And that's all you could see is just above the clouds, and it was a really special experience. So I would say Lutzen, but, you know, there's so many other places.
And really close to Lutzen is the Beer and Bean Lakes. And if you've never hiked those trails in the fall, it is absolutely gorgeous. And we actually discovered it during COVID because I feel like there are these just hidden gems everywhere, and people were posting different things in places that they were hiking to. And all of a sudden my niece found it and she was just like, we got to go here. And I mean, growing up in Minnesota, you continue to find new things like the trolls. Like, I haven't even seen that yet, but we went up there and it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's just, there's so many fun little spots. I'd also say Stillwater is one of my favorite places to bring people, because I think, again, it's that small town feel, but it's right on the river, amazing restaurants, fun shopping, and just a great place, and so close to the Twin Cities. It makes it a very convenient stop.
It's so fun, and there's the German restaurant in Stillwater, and I can't think of the name right now, but I love that place. It's been there forever, and it's just right outside of town. Another tip that I have for people that are visiting Minnesota, or for locals in Minnesota, something that I've tried to be more intentional about, is when I'm going from point A to point B, I'm not taking a freeway or a highway. I'm trying to take some back roads just to see different. And you stumble across some of the coolest places in this state.
Absolutely.
Little towns that you never knew existed. I've stopped at a couple of diners that were just these hidden treasures, and there's like 8 tables in there, right? And the food was amazing.
Agree.
Yep.
We have a rule that we do not do chain restaurants.
Good.
We always do local mom and pops, those diner and dives, like, because they're just so fun, and you meet amazing people along the way and hear great stories. So we always try to do that. And I agree, like stopping in those little towns,
It's fun.
There's so much character and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, what does success look like for you as an organization? Obviously, you are promoting all the things that are here in Minnesota. But what are those success metrics that you look at when you reflect on a year and say, okay, we did it. We've got people here. We're having people in Minnesota enjoying more spaces. We have people from out of town coming and enjoying Minnesota. What does that look like for you, that you can, as a leader of the organization, to say, okay, we did it. We nailed it.
Yeah, I would say definitely getting more visitors, right? What are those kind of solid numbers? And it doesn't mean everything, but I do think it's great to see more and more people continue to be interested in coming for the first time. But I would also say getting some really good earned media is one of the things, right? What are those stories that are being told, whether we're the ones asking people to come tell them or not. But one of the really cool things that we do is we invite journalists to come here for the first time. And some of them come and they will write story after story from just one visit. And I think that's really special. And it's, to me, super successful because they came for a few days and have many stories to tell. And then I think, just listening to social media, things like Reddit, and having people be able to kind of speak to it. Like, in the last couple months, we've really seen a lot of folks come out and say, oh, I loved visiting Minnesota. It's one of my favorite places. Or they're putting their videos on TikTok or Instagram, right? And so those aren't things that you can necessarily measure in dollars. But to me, the stories that people tell, that's so much better than, dollars and cents, because it's getting the word out to other people and letting them know how great we are.
Absolutely.
I tend to go on social media, TikTok specifically, and a week or two ago, there was someone who wrote something kind of negative about Minnesota. I forget what it was. And the comments were amazing because half were from Minnesotans saying, "Are you kidding? This place is amazing." And the other half were from people from other states saying, "I've been there. That place is amazing." So you have those ambassadors that tell your story.
Yeah. And it's fun to kind of see that come out of the woodwork just very organically.
Yep.
And I think that's why Minnesota is so special, because a lot of people will come for their very first time and they're like, I had no idea all these things were here. I had no idea what my experience was going to be, but everyone's so nice and we're welcoming, and we know how to have a good time no matter what the weather is, right? It's all of those things that make up for a good visit.
I know when people come to town for the big concerts or for the state fair or for, the major national events that we host, sometimes they're coming for the first time and then they realize like, this place is amazing. And so we want to come back. We want to bring our organizations here to host conferences, host events, and also bring families back. Because if they're here for business, they love to come back again, because we see that all the time with the events that we host here, or if people come specifically for whether it's an event or a conference, things like that, they always want to come back. And there's always, I feel like all roads lead back to Minnesota. People are always related to somebody here, or they're here to visit an aunt or a college friend. Or it's always funny because when we host the brands that come here to look at spaces, so prospective tenants, they're always in awe. Once we can get them here, it's just like, this is amazing. Once they have the cultural and the culinary scene, and it is exciting. And with all our pro sports teams, like we have everything. It's fantastic. So what would you say that you hear is the most surprising element of like tourism in Minnesota, what people would not expect, whether it's a stat or fact that you guys share that people are most surprised about?
I think one of the things is that we are the happiest state. And I think people realize that when they come because of the access that we have to all of the different amenities, like you said. I think the other thing that people tend to be really surprised by is that you hear Minnesota nice. We all know that can have a multitude of meanings. But for the most part, people, they're like, okay, we hear people are nice. When they get here and they actually experience that, they're like, wow, you guys are really actually nice.
You really are.
Yes.
And so the hospitality, I think, is always something that surprises people and makes their experience so much better. Even if you come and there's a snowstorm, it's like, okay, well, come on in, we'll warm you up with a hot dish or something, right? So I'm sure it's on a restaurant's menu somewhere. But I think that's kind of the thing that we hear the most is like, well, everybody's so nice there all the time to people who are visiting. And I love to hear that.
Mm-hmm. And yes, we do call them hot dishes.
We do.
They're not casseroles here. They are hot dishes.
Correct.
I agree.
Yeah, it is fun. Okay, well, we're going to shift to a little Minnesota trivia to see if you guys really know this state as well as you're talking about. Let's see if you can put a little money behind your name here. So how many lakes does Minnesota actually have? So we market 10,000, but do we know approximately how many we really have? And just so you know, and a disclaimer, these came from ChatGPT.
I have a feeling you're going to win,
trivia, so I don't know if they're
but I'm going to say 17,000.
No, but it's 11,892.
Oh my goodness, I'm impressed. So it has 11,842, but I'm sure that you're.
What's
that's
the
impressive.
square footage though? Because I was figuring a slightly smaller.
Whatever,
like a pond.
Exactly.
It's just a lot easier to say 10,000.
That was really good.
Lake Chipotle.
I'm impressed. She knows her numbers. I love that. Yes, we are the land of lakes, and it's a real thing.
Yeah.
We love the lakes. Okay, what Minnesota State Park receives the most visitors each year? And hint, Lauren already mentioned this name.
I'm going to say Itasca, but I don't know.
I would say Itasca too. Yeah, is it Itasca?
So it says Itasca or Gooseberry Falls.
That was my
Gooseberry.
second guess.
So depending on, is it Gooseberry or Gooseberry?
I think it's Gooseberry.
Gooseberry.
Okay,
yes.
I've heard it pronounced both ways, so thank you for clarifying. Okay, which Minnesota attraction consistently ranks as the most visited in the state? Please don't get this wrong. Please don't get this wrong.
Is it the Mall of America?
It is. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Minnesota. What do you think? This is since 1933.
I have no. Oh, is it the place down south?
Probably not.
The place down. Okay. Never mind.
Is it
the Lowell Inn?
Leader?
It's Jack's.
Oh, I was gonna.
Jack's.
Darn.
Really?
Okay.
Jack's Cafe.
That's amazing. I
I've
love
been
Jack's
there.
Cafe.
Just two more. Minnesota town known for the birthplace of water skiing.
Oh, that
know this
is.
one.
I do. It's. Oh my gosh! It's the.
He won't get it.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
lake on the way down to Winona. Lake City.
Yes, Lake
Yes,
City.
Lake City.
There you
Ding,
go.
ding, ding. Good job,
Lake
Dan.
Pepin. Yeah.
right on
Okay,
Lake
how
Pepin.
many state parks and recreation areas are there in Minnesota?
This is yours.
State parks for sure. I think there's 84.
Wow.
That's more. That said 75 state parks and recreation
Okay.
areas combined. So
Okay.
that's a lot.
There's so many.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say 76, but I'm kidding.
Okay, now lightning
No
round.
clue.
We already talked about these a little bit, but most underrated travel season. Lauren, what would
I
you
would say fall for sure.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Dan,
I would say fall too. It's just gorgeous.
gorgeous. And the thing is, it depends on how much rain we get and the temperature of how vibrant the colors are.
Yeah.
But man, if you can hit that peak, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
How about go-to summer activity?
Oh, paddleboarding on Lake Nokomis. I live pretty close to the mall, and Lake Nokomis is my lake, and just
like that.
popping out quick.
I've got to say, late summer, it's the state fair.
Oh,
Dan is a huge
I
state
love
fair
it.
fan.
Love it.
And for me, it's just being on the lake. I just love pontooning on the lake. It is fantastic. Okay, one must-visit town for first-time visitors. We talked about this already, so you have to pick something that we haven't talked about yet. Any ideas?
Ooh, I'm going to say Anoka. It's kind
Especially
of
during the Halloween
It's kind of
season.
a vibrant, refreshed little city in the middle of the Twin Cities.
I agree. That's a good choice. I would say for first time, that's a tough one. I really like Red Wing.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get to from the Twin Cities. So if you don't have a ton of time, it's like a 45-minute train ride. It's awesome.
I agree. Lake or river?
Lake.
Lake.
Yeah, like
Even though we have like the river.
I think it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. If you just like the river energy, it's fun.
Yeah.
But lakes like relaxing,
It's
that's
calming.
fun too. Yes,
Yeah.
they're both. So, Lauren, if you could leave listeners with one reason to explore Minnesota this year, what would it be?
I would say everything's here for you. Everything. Whatever kind of vacation you're looking for, we have it here. I promise you.
I love it.
We do. We do. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all the fun things about Minnesota and for what you and your team do and leading the state and really putting us on the national stage, because we do really have a hidden gem here across the United States that everyone should visit multiple times throughout the year. And for those of us that live here, we're very proud of Minnesota and what we have to offer. So hopefully, if you don't have plans yet, that you're going to add Minnesota to your list for all the fun things for the spring and summer. We have so much to offer. So definitely check out exploreminnesota.com. It's got so many great opportunities to just start planning your travel, look at itineraries. Also, mallofamerica.com also has a lot of fun itineraries when you come here specifically. But if you come here, we know you will love it. So thank you for joining us for this episode of So Much More. Be sure to rate and score us where you listen to your podcast. So we love having you listen, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for listening to So Much More, a Mall of America podcast. Subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. This show is presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism.